things that I think is important to take note of, as this heads-up match continues to go on, these are things that you want to start picking up on and making adjustments to as their opponent.
Are you going to try to see the reaction, or is that just too much of an expense?
I think that if you are the player with the perceived skill edge and experience, which I think, it's fair to say it's Tamayo, no slight to Griff at all, then I think you can certainly experiment a little bit, maybe with your raise frequency, with your raise sizes, and then adjust from there depending on, again, how active Griff is being, how wide he's defending, how often he continues to see bets. Okay, we're seeing our first 3-bet of the heads-up match with a combo that I think, certainly makes sense to 3-bet with out of position. Just the weaker ace X that does connect with the wheel.
You know what I do miss? The Euro rails. The Roaring 30s battle for this bracelet. 2 30-year-olds start with 3 30-year-olds. Let's see the comparisons on money one. Everyone looking for their first bracelet.
I had a 20-something win this thing. Scott Blumstein in 2017. 20-somethings all the rage a while back. Jordan Griff, they're going to have a baby, so that's later this year. So that baby will be ready for the main event at peak sometime around 2057, 2058.
And that's the year we were going to decide to retire from this. Really? 21 years?
It still boggles my mind every time somebody says they were born after 2000. Oh my gosh.
Right? Tamayo top and bottom. Put it there as well.
It's a pretty big bet size from Griff. I like it in the sense that it makes just bottom pairs really hard to continue. I don't think you're going to get second pairs to fold. But also, you could definitely get better hands like high cards, some King X, Queen X type hands to fold here. But obviously, Tamayo just has a really good candidate here to fast play.
So one thing I've seen, Griff, again, not afraid to put chips to work, and Tamayo could use that against him.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's more just a function of the fact that Tamayo doesn't block a lot of those potential draws that are just going to call a check raise, right? The Jack 10, the Queen 10, the spades. Certain textures, maybe you want to be a little more cagey and just call, but there, also, if you're lucky enough for your opponent to have an overpair there, then...
You saw Jonathan's biggest poker live cash. I believe he has bigger DFS cashes.
He might. He won the Daily Fantasy Hockey Championship, the DraftKings Daily Fantasy Hockey Championship in 2019. The bigger ones, though, he said, which were the $1 million payoffs, he was not able to win. He did do well in them. But yeah, he's done well in daily fantasy. And of course, Jordan Griff also deals in fantasy sports. Says his supply chain job has helped him there. Says his supply chain training has also helped him in poker.
Comes along with the best of it. Queen 6 against Tamayo's 9-5. There's a 9 in the window.
first dozen or so hands of heads up, it has been all Jonathan Tamayo. 2-1 chip lead right now. Still pretty deep, very deep. Griff with 50 bigs. One double up and it reverses.
Middle player gets out. And Griff checks out.
Yeah, again, talking about, a perceived skill edge, I think you really want to go death by 1,000 paper cuts if you're Tamayo. You don't really necessarily want to play super high variance if you feel like you're going to be able to overpower Griff with your experience. You just want to try to play small ball sometimes.
Is it in already?
No, it's at his
exercise
mother's
some
house.
pot
You can't
control
do it
in the
today.
right
He's gonna do it
situations,
Friday
and
next
just
week.
continue to chip
Wait,
away at
come
it.
here. Ready?
And this goes back to why
What does that
we
say?
were pretty
Come over here.
surprised with
Come
Nicholas
here,
Hastings'
hurry up,
decision
hurry.
in a high variance
What does that say in there?
to make that
Let's
all
say
in
it.
call.
Game
Instead
over.
of, as you said,
No.
play small ball and just
Game
throw away
over.
the player.
Game
Now,
over.
on the flip side, of course, if you
That was so
are
bad.
feeling incredible